Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm trying to figure out what's happening to these graphics. They cut me off the short on the screen, but we're gonna go with it tonight. We're gonna go with it. I'm not quite sure why the graphics is doing this, but we're gonna flow the way we flow. This is definitely the last day of January. Uh, we slowly going into February 2024, and we want to make sure that everybody understands moving into this new season that we walk into a season of great harvest. Here at the African Speaks, we want to make sure that you receive everything that you are looking for this season. So be careful what you plant. Be careful of the seed that you sow because whatever seed you sow is going to come back exponentially. So you want to make sure in this season that you're allowing the African in you to speak so that you could receive an abundance. And in that space of grabbing at the abundance that the Creator has for you and me and us as a people during this mission, we are always in the process of continuing this process of talking about the power of the divine self. We're continuing talking about the power of the divine self. And now, sometimes, and we are on chapter 6. We are on chapter 6. Let me slide over here. Something definitely changed with the graphics, and I got to figure out what it is. But on chapter 6 right here, first one was the intro. Then we had two parts of the source where we dealt with the source. We have chapter 2, which was the atomic particle, that man, the power of the atom and the energy in which that flows. We dealt with the divine self as in regards to the Mayat experience, the experience of Mayat, when you have culture based around nothing but understanding, connecting, and relating to source. Then we dealt with the divine self when it comes to melanin, the gift of the gods. They said, let us create man in our image. And so melanin is the gift of the gods. Please, if you missed anything, make sure you go back and take, because this is a lot of information. They're pouring and I'm giving. They're pouring and I'm giving. They poured last week and told me what to talk about this week. And I'm giving. And hopefully I was able to put it together for you. Last week we dealt with the power of the divine self, that motherland connection. And I got some great feedback on that. I got some real great feedback on that. To understand, again, this is with this being the season of the great harvest, this journey is deeply important because we are always trying to move toward the rise of the African within you. It's our social pan-African movement where we are trying to connect black people all over the planet, as many as we can. We want to duplicate the numbers of Garvey. We want to beat those numbers. We want to, yeah, we want to duplicate that in the era of high technology. That's where we are. Hey, Shakesha, how you doing? One love, appreciate you. And now tonight's topic is talking about, this is chapter 6, the vibrations of a people. The vibrations of a people. And as we continue, I want to make sure I keep the topic at hand so we're always knowing, regardless of who pops in or when they pop in, they know what we talk about. And so let me get this set up for you. The vibrations of a people, right there. So it doesn't matter what happens up here, that's going to stay right there. So we're talking about the vibrations of a people. And last week, when we were discussing the motherland connection, we talked about the Creator's touch to this globe. And we talk about how long it took to get this particular hemisphere of energy perfect so that she could gift it to us. The source could gift us this experience of physical life because we're from energy. So, well, let's see what happens if I manifest condense energy into a mass that can be physical. And we took a look at the motherland. And in taking a look at the motherland, we realize that this was just nothing but peace, harmony, and balance. We said that you can experience the Creator when you sit in nature. So being able to sit in that experience, understanding that it was an experience of abundance. We're talking about the season of a great harvest. Because at one point we lived within an atmosphere of a great harvest. And now I'm trying to connect you to that same experience that we had last week, because I need you to feel this vibration. This vibration, because we said this particular vibration manifested a type of being, a special type of being that had that third eye open, because all you had to do was focus on sharing the vibrations of the universe in which we lived in together. And in that statement we said, let's sit here for a minute. Let's sit here for a minute. Yeah. Can you imagine humanity being manifested in this place? Yeah. And we said in this place, this dictates that we create, we dictates a special being. A special being. God said, it's just not anybody can start humanity in such a beautiful, beautiful environment of abundance. And in that space of abundance, we said we created massive, massive, massive societies. That being understood that everything is energy. Everything is energy, and energy is everything. We're talking about the divine self, the vibrations of a people. Because sitting in that experience where the vibrations of nature all around you, the harmony and balance of nature all around you, there was a people who understood that all things had a frequency. All things have a frequency and a vibration. Everything has a particular sound, and you may not be able to pick it up with the human ear. But you know that there are animals that when you spark a particular vibration, the animals will hear it. The animals will respond to it. And so the earth has a vibration. The people on the earth have a vibration. God created the experience with nothing but pure harmony, peace, and balance. We are in an atmosphere of energy that is predicated on harmony, peace, and balance. And that doesn't mean it's sunshine every day, because there's harmony in the rain. There is balance in the tornado. There is peace within the hurricane. It's not the fact that that is a storm. It's the understanding that you are the storm. And if you go back in time and discuss, or even look at what we talked about when we dealt with the motherland and what the earth had to go through, the volcano eruptions, purpose. The melting of or the snow caps, purpose. Earthquakes, purpose. Tectonic plates shifting, purpose. Everything was about harmony, peace, and balance. So when the Creator said, if this is about vibrations, harmony, peace, and balance, the being that we create has to be able to feel harmony, peace, and balance. To know when they're connected to harmony, peace, and balance. We're talking about the vibrations of a people. The vibrations of a people. This is why it's essential when you take a look at the melanin, the gift of the gods, and how many different levels this pigment gives us. Into our understanding, we realize the melanin is the tool to help us connect and vibrate at the same vibrations of the experience that the Creator gave, that the Creator gives, that the Creator and the Source produces for us. In that, understanding that this power of the divine self, this harmony, the vibration of a people is about how we connect to that, how we realize that we are the trees. We vibrate in all things that we do, how we are the air. We are the soil. We're the vegetation. We are the animals that we see. It is the understanding that we are connecting to the mother of all creation. There is a unseen and biblical cord, an energy vibration that connects us. And we as a people are natural vibrators. And so when you deal with life before the interference of European society, you get those beings who within their DNA structure vibrated at a frequency that was pure enlightenment. Please take a look at some of the old ones. When we talk about there was a being on this planet that didn't see themselves as simple kings and queens. No. There was a being in this planet that understood that they were pure enlightenment. Direct with a crowns, all the chakras open, direct connection to the source and the ancestors and all information, DNA wide open with data being served. This is why we were able to create such vast communities, civilizations, communal societies, where we gave as we were able and we only took as we had need. Where we offered the sciences of art, astronomy, medicine, everything came out of that attempt to maintain and sustain deep God consciousness. We're talking about the vibrations of a people. The frequency, because there was no low energy frequency, because there were no suffering. And if there was, if you deal with something that happened in the jungle, that's still balance. But there was no issue of how we gonna eat. There was no issue of how we gonna sleep, where we gonna sleep. There was no issue of can we make our own clothes. There was no issue of how to take care of my family. There was no issue of overdosing on drugs. There was no issue of oppression. Let's talk about that one. Because that's the biggest trauma that we all suffer. Oppression. So going down this road and understanding the power of the divine self, in our community we call it the best self. We're trying to get back to the point where we are vibrating at a high frequency of 700 to 1,000, which is God consciousness. And that's the knowing of that God consciousness. And when we get to the point of understanding frequency, because if one person, and this is the thing of frequency, you get a tuning fork and you strike that tuning fork. And that tuning fork is vibrating at a high frequency where it equals the level of God consciousness. You have a being that is walking on the planet that is clearly vibrating in their God consciousness. You can say, even if man came first. I don't believe man as male came first. And then he has another being who is functioning from her God consciousness. They're vibrating frequencies. So when they give birth to a child and both father and mother are vibrating at the frequency of source, that child begins because of where they are vibrating at a particular source. We have to understand that. Frequency is everything. So if you're walking in this journey and you're finding things difficult, it's because you need to find yourself around people who are vibrating at a higher frequency. That consciousness where we understand that there is truly only one mind, which is the mind of the Creator. One body, which is the body of the Creator. And one spirit, that's the spirit of the Creator. We're all manifestations of the same source. However, that issue of free will can have us be detoured off of that. Now, it was by no means of our own effort did we detour off of this track. No, it is oppression that detours us. You cannot enslave a people who understand who they are as well as what they are. The vibrations of an African people, everything is a reflection for their reverence for life. When you talk about the vibrations of a people, and we're dealing with the issue again of having absolutely no interference. This is that journey. I would like for y'all to look at the introduction when we talk about getting past. Understanding how we vibrated in a place that was gifted to us. With no interference, we gave no interference. We had no interference by connection to the Creator and the wisdom that the Creator sends. And the ancestors that sat, those who hadn't even come yet, was being manifested in the realm of God consciousness. I knew you before I formed you in the womb. So we have ancestors now that are there. Some people, when you're talking to ancestors, we're only dealing with the ancestors of old. But then there are ancestors who have yet to come, who are looking upon the hemisphere of reality, making choices of, who can I come through that will vibrate at a level that will allow me to reach my designed self. There was a people who had a deep reverence of life when you're searching for the divine self. You're searching for a vibration of a people that had rhythm in all things. And all things were sacred. All things was an expression of the light within and the light around us. Mm. And that's in our fashion. Man, how we dress, patterns in our clothes represented the creator. The vibration of a people manifested the objects that would always, let me get this right so you can see the energy. Look up Indinka symbols if y'all don't know anything about Indinka symbols. All the Indinka symbols was based on vibration and connecting to the universe and the creator. You can tell the vibrations existed in the people by the food we cooked and the food we still cook. And African influence on every cuisine on the planet, the vibrations of a people. They thought they could destroy the vibrations of that soul food, meaning that we knew that we were energy beings. So we put our love in the food that we prepare for one another. We blessed what we killed. We blessed what we ate. It was all a blessing. Why? Because we had understood the vibrations. They thought they could kill the vibrations in slavery, but they couldn't. I don't eat it because it's slave food, but we had to figure out how to make chitlins taste good. Never had them, never will. But that shows you give us the crumbs off a table due to oppression. However, there's always something in us that allows us to vibrate at a higher level to produce something greater. The vibrations of a people. And when it came to music, what? You understand how you feel when that drum hits, when that beat hits, that rhythm hits, we move in a particular way. Everything was in honor of the energy that was around us. The ceremony where you would sit down and brothers would sit, the sisters would come, the drums would play, the sisters would dance, and now you're trying to figure out which sister had the vibration that vibe with you, because that's my wife. Vibrations. We used dance and the drums for communication. Why? Because sound was word. When we told stories, our language had vibrations in it. Come on. We don't live outside of an energy field. We know we live within it, and we know we're energy beings, and we're always utilizing it to manifest an experience of one mind, one body, one spirit. Have you ever seen an African dance to the point where the individual who was African dancing was not conscious of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 counting steps, but disappeared in a ceremonial experience where they were embodied with the energy and the power of the universe, the vibrations of a people? This is who we are. This is what we are. Beings who can harness the vibrations of the creator, the source, in all things and in everything. Vibrations. Think about life, and you know that you're not in tune when things are not going well. And if you're connected and things are not going well, you know that you can put forth the request to say, hey, use these negative vibrations to get me to a path where I am walking exactly where I'm supposed to be walking. And then when people come around me, people always say, well, you got to leave or walk away from the individuals who are not on your frequency. I say otherwise. If you are able to vibrate at a higher frequency, you're the one who can change the frequency of the individuals around you. Taking the higher road is not ignoring negativity. Taking the higher road is finding ways to vibrate higher so that you can affect the energy that is not as on the level of God consciousness in which we exist. This journey is about vibrations. How were we able to do the great things of old? God consciousness, vibrations. How are we able to struggle through hard times and difficulty? Tapping into the deeper, higher frequencies, God consciousness, vibrations. How will we continue to grow to be all what we need to be? Function as one mind, one body, one spirit. Equals. It's easy. People's vibrations, people's frequency that is aligned with the Creator. What you realize is when you start looking at the power of who we are, the vibrations of a people, you realize that we are interconnected with all things, all things. And in that space, we experience the power of source when we come together. Vibrations. And when that happens, and we know that we're not just kings or queens, but we are gods and goddesses who have the ability to access God consciousness and bring about a different type of love, peace, balance. That's when you experience what Black love is. We're here to give reverence for life and how we vibe and how we do. Our frequencies and vibrations are manifestations of our actions. It's manifestations of our thoughts, manifestations of our emotions and our feelings. How well and how high you vibrate is your reverence for life. And at one point, there used to be a people that walked this planet with no interference. And there will be a people that will walk this planet with no interference. I always say, and this didn't hit me until recently, this is never, ever about power to the people. And I was thinking about it and thinking about it. I said, man, this phrase was wrong because we went after political power. Now, we are supposed to be grabbing institutional power, but this journey is not about the basic institutional power. It's different. It's not about power to the people. It's more about the power in a people. This is what the vibrations of a people can do. when you understand the vibrations in the people, the drums, the rhythm, everything that's on us, it's supposed to be tapping us into the power within and connecting that power within to the power around us. This is about the power in a people. And realize I said a power in the people, not a power in the person. Because we weren't created on this life to have individual experience outside of exchange with each other. No, this was supposed to be a shared experience. Because no one came to this earth without being open to the presence and power of the Creator. You wasn't born in sin, you was born in power. So shake that off. You have the will to choose not to acknowledge the power that you were born in. That's where the sin comes in, free will. But I'm having a grandchild tonight. Yep, they're at the hospital. My grandchild is being born in power. This is the being that is coming through, the one that exists with no interference from an oppressive society. It doesn't change until the oppressive society begins to put an imprint on the power, how they connect to the power within. It's the vibrations of a people. So when you see this struggle as we walking into Black History Month, it's February, understand what you watch here in the Americas. You're seeing a people realizing there's something inside so strong. And that something is a spirit that says, I remember when we existed and vibed on this planet as pure energy beings, pure God consciousness, full of cosmic energy and creative intelligence, giving the Creator all things without reverence and life. Our journey in this space will always be getting back to the life of abundance, the vibrations of a people, getting back to a life of abundance. That just might be another chapter in this process. But if you can get with that, you would understand that this is purely, purely a God's dream. That's why I play that song all the time. We are out here trying to manifest the experience that we were called to experience when the Creator said, let there be life, not light. But when he said, let us create man in our own image, one male, one female. We're going to leave this earth, energy beings, and let us see them express the vibrations of what Black love is supposed to feel like. Yeah, that I can get with. And so as you walk into this new season, you walk into this experience of the year of great harvest, vibrate right, vibrate high, because the abundance of this season is coming based off of how you vibrate. One love.